Welcome back to everyone's favorite series, books I read because of Booktok and my honest, genuine opinions on them. So good. So cute. Like, Netflix, make a rom-com out of this. But also, I think it did a good job of tackling racism and homophobia, and the ending was really satisfying because everyone got what they deserved, good or bad. I will say, though, the pop culture references, could have done without them. Also, the romance is adorable. It's sapphic. Yes. If you ever thought I was gonna shut up about this book, no, absolutely not. Genuinely, this is the biggest brain move ever because the plot was so intricate and I was just constantly being surprised, being shocked. Just 10 out of 10. This book did a great job addressing institutionalized racism, educational barriers, and homophobia, and just the epilogue. I can't. One of my most anticipated releases of the year did not disappoint. The characters were so complex, there was so much LGBTQ plus representation, and this made me cry.
If you're on Booktok, by now you've probably heard someone say something along these lines. Booktok is so boring. They only recommend the same 5 books over and over. Well, this is part 2 of the Underrated Books Challenge, so let's prove them wrong. I've added some more genres, so use this sound to show off your favorite underrated books. So, recommend me an underrated sci-fi book, an underrated historical fiction book, an underrated contemporary book, an underrated book about mental health, an underrated memoir, an underrated supernatural or horror book, and finally, recommend me a book that you think deserves way more hype than it gets.
Convincing you to read my absolute favorite series that I never see on Booktok.
Do you like enemies to lovers? Do you like love interests with wings? Do you like complex magical worlds with multiple systems of magic? Do you like epic battles and strong female protagonists? Do you like an ever-expanding multiverse? Then for the love of God, go buy the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series by Laini Taylor. This is one of the most underrated series on all of Booktok. Just go read it.
Okay, so let's say that you just read The Song of Achilles, and you're like, oh god, ow, I'm in pain. So what you want to read next is The House in the Cerulean Sea. And then you're like, okay, I'm ready for more pain. So what you're going to want to read next is They Both Die at the End. And then you're like sobbing on your floor at 3 a.m., so you need to heal a little bit, need to feel some hope and love. So you read Red, White, and Royal Blue. And then you're like, okay, I would like to hurt again, but something less devastating, please? So you should read Honey Girl. And like, Jesus, that book hits you like a freight train, and it's fantastic, but like, holy hell, you need like a moment. Understood. Heartstopper. And then you're like, okay, I would like another queer historical tragedy. So you want to read next is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And then you're like, okay, that was great, but can I please see some gays who are alive and happy? I got you. Written in the stars. And then because I think y'all would murder me if I didn't, what do we end every recommendation list with? Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Hi, I'm lonely. I know. I'm young adult fantasy. Okay, ouch. Well, that book cover looks amazing on you. Thank you. Nice taste in bookmark? Oh, that was presumptuous of me. I brought it just in case the date goes well. Sorry. So what are you looking for in a book? Oh, a good world building, strong lead, captivating plot. Maybe some romance wouldn't hurt. Do you have all of those qualities? What about a villain that makes you question which side you really want to be on? That does tend to be my type, yeah. And how do you feel about love triangles? Oh, no, I've been warned not to get close to another love triangle. Well, what if the focus is two strong female leads separated by 1,000 years but tied together by the same unfathomable power that they both possess? Can I take you home to my parents? Tell me more about yourself. It's prophesies one is the Queen of Light meant to save the world and the other is the Queen of Blood sent to destroy it, and you don't know which is which. You're not like other books. I know. And what's your stance on series? I prefer one-night stands, commitment issues. Fair enough. Are you checking me out? What? No, I was just from a library. I'm fury bored. Oh, right, yes.
Stop what you're doing, shut up, and read this book. This one right here, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I ain't fucking joking when I say I've never read anything more beautiful. This is historical fantasy with romance. The story starts out in 1714 France. Addie LaRue is an oppressed woman who wants much more than her simple life and village could ever offer her. She's been told never to pray to the gods after dark, but one day out of desperation she does. She asks for more time and freedom. The darkness uses her words against her and curses her to immortality and damned to be forgotten. Anyone that she's met in the past forgets her. Anyone that she meets in the future will forget her as soon as they're out of sight. So there's no way for her to leave a mark on the earth. But 300 years later, 2014 New York City, she meets a guy in a bookstore who remembers her name. This book was heartbreakingly beautiful. You can literally feel the emotions of these characters. This was a fucking masterpiece. I rate nothing 5 stars, but this right here, 5 stars. There's no fucking way you can predict the ending. And yes, I will be claiming my love for this book a personality trait. Here's a cursed image of me reading the last part and fan art for encouragement.
Alright, so my sister just got married, and everyone at the wedding, literally every single person, got food poisoning from the buffet. Except for me and the best man, because I didn't want to eat the buffet, and I guess he didn't either. But so now there's this honeymoon that is already paid for, non-refundable, that my sister and her husband can't go on. So they're asking me and the best man, who I literally hate him, like he's so annoying, to go on this honeymoon together. Like, I'm going to have to spend a week with the person who I probably hate most in the world. And that's Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Check it out.
I love people that say that Dr. Seuss is not triggering to them and like they can never be triggered by a children's book. You guys would hate what I read to my daughter every night. A is for awesome, feminist, all about women leaders. Don't call me princess. Girls are like more than princesses. I know, it's crazy. 3, 2, 1, awesome. Same thing, more like feminist bullshit. I clean like daddy. Boys can clean. Crazy. Little Leaders. This is about black women in history. Great book. Meet Polka Dot. It's about a trans child and how to respect trans children. Baby Feminist talks about historical figures and how they were definitely feminists when they were babies.
Do your parents complain that you go to sleep late and wake up late? Well, according to Matthew's research, teenagers' brain release melatonin 2 to 3 hours later than their parents. So, you're not lazy, it's biology.
You talk about me, you get millions.
Millions, you say? Also, please don't come for me, Gabby Hanna. I am a woman of color. If you say something, I will assume you're racist. But as a book reviewer, this was trash. And of course, I have textual evidence. Oh, positive. I donated blood today. Feels good to finally be somebody's type. Oh my god, that is so relatable. Relative. Time is relative. Beauty is relative. Family is relatives. That is so fucking deep. Happy. Every time I try to write a silly poem, it turns out incredibly sad. No, it turns out incredibly bad.
Show me the coolest thing you own that isn't expensive.
Okay, I have a good one. This is called a wisdom tree. It's a shelf that holds your place in multiple books at once, and it acts as a lamp.